Hi, I'm Zachary Cowan, the author of the Study Daily Books, and thanks for joining me for a look at Doctrine and Covenants, section 98. In the section heading of this section, there are two really interesting comments. One is on the historical background of all the problems that happened in Missouri, some of the political and cultural differences that led to the Saints being driven out. And if you want to learn more about this, you can check out Saints Volume 1, pages 73 through 81. It gives a great detail about everything that was going on and why it was difficult and how the Saints, it led up to the tar and feathering of two individuals and them being an agreement signed that they would leave Jackson County. So you can go check that out. The other one is this. At the very end of the second heading, we learned that Joseph Smith no doubt knew some of the difficulties, but the seriousness of the situation could only be made known through revelation. There's a great principle that when we're facing difficulties, if other people don't understand what we are facing, the Lord does. And he can give great counsel to help us with both the major and the minor difficulties that we face. And that's what we see here in section 98. So go ahead, pause your video, check out verses 1 through 3 and 11 through 22, and look for God's counsel for major and minor difficulties that we would face in our life, including right now your major and minor difficulties. See you in a minute. Hey, thanks for studying. There's lots of really good counsel in here where the Lord comes back and again talks about don't be afraid, don't be fearful, don't be troubled, have confidence in me, go forward with faith, line upon line, precept upon precept, I'll give it to you. I love the counsel in verse 3 that the Lord promises, look, difficulties and bad things are going to happen to you. But if you will move forward with faith, everything will work out for your good. You'll see that it will develop in you an attribute of godliness. Even when you're facing hard and difficult times, it can be for our advantage and our well-being, because that's the whole purpose of this life. Even the hard things are to be turned around and turned into something for our good. That's the power of the atonement. Our God is so powerful that he doesn't stop bad things from happening. He allows them and then can use the atonement to enable us to become better because of it. That is remarkable. All right. When really difficult situations we're facing, it is really helpful to have some laws that don't change, especially when facing hard times. So here's some of the laws the Lord gives to the members of the church, both for us now and for the people then in Missouri, to help them manage some difficult situations and times. All right, go ahead and here's the list, and I'll read through them, and you pick the one that you would like to study, or 2 or 3 or 4, and go spend some time doing that. And consider this, which one of these laws was most helpful, would have been most helpful to the church then? Which one is most helpful now? Which one is most helpful maybe in the past for your family? Which law is most helpful for you guys now? All right, here are the laws. So in verses 4 through 10 in section 98, you see the Lord's laws about the laws of the land, the Constitution, and political leaders in government. In verses 23 through 32, you see the Lord's law of retaliation. In verses 33 through 38, the Lord's law of war. In verses 39 through 48, the Lord's law of forgiveness. All right, so go ahead, pause your video, check out one of these laws and see which one you think was most useful to the saints then and now, which one has been useful to your family in the past, which one will be useful now. Thank you for studying. I'm sure some of the things you saw in here is that the Latter-day Saints are supposed to be law-abiding citizens, and they're supposed to have a part of government and to uphold principles of government and truth that demand greater responsibility from the people that the government serves. Also, that we're to find and seek out the best possible people to be involved in government and to put our support behind them. You also see that the Lord says, look, when it comes to retaliation in war, we don't want to be seeking that. We don't want to be reactionary when a person hurts us. We want to be patient and we want to be kind and forgiving and also warn them. And yet we don't allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. We stand up and we defend ourselves. We don't proclaim war. We instead proclaim peace. But if necessary, we do fight them. And the Lord's promises is that he will step in and also defend those battles and be a part of it with us. And when it comes to forgiveness, God is one of the most forgiving beings. And that demands that we also have to be forgiving in our own lives. These are principles that help the saints then, help the saints now, and can help you in the past and help us now. And as we live these laws that the Lord has given us, we will see that he will guide us line by line to help us through the major and the minor difficulties that we face. Thanks for studying, and thanks for working on becoming a saint. It is really hard to proclaim forgiveness and peace and not retaliate when we are mistreated or view or feel that we are mistreated. Thank you for studying. Thank you for becoming. See you next time.